So what's up, people, and welcome to our first episode of Car Mechanics Simulator 2018. Now, from what I can figure out, I think there were previous versions of this game, like 2015 and on. I guess it's a relatively popular game, so I thought I'd get it and try it out. Now, I've never tried any of the Car Mechanics Simulator series. This is the first one I've tried out. But it was quite interesting because it's definitely different from any of the games that I've been making a video up till now. It's not a third-person shooter, it's not survival horror, it's not open sandbox grinding sort of game. This is definitely just building and fixing cars, yeah. And of course it makes me nostalgic because of my high school days when I did take 1 year of automotives. Whether I did good or not is irrelevant. And I'm hoping that my lack of knowledge of cars or car building won't get in the way, because I'm definitely not as cool as that tattooed looking dude in the trailer or the intro of this game. Okay, so I guess you start out in this little dinky garage. You have this little computer here that gets you all the parts that you need to buy, like rims or there we go. Rims or let me see, I think it was general car parts here, you know, things like air filters, fuel filters, you know, whatever. Body parts like fenders and bumpers and whatever else you have, and tires, plates, whatever. All the parts that you need to fix your car, I guess. And you have this garage that basically has the general purpose tools, or at least you start out with general purpose tools for doing minor repairs of cars, and then you start taking jobs and you basically try to establish a business. So yeah, as you can see, we already received a call to have brakes done or brakes fixed for this one car. So we might as well start at it right away and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Okay. I guess this is the car. Yeah, okay. So, looking at this, there's all these controls which I really don't know much about yet. But this one gives you some idea of what you need to do. We need to replace 2 brake discs and 1 brake pad, I guess, for this one car. And as you fix these things, it check marks these things off. And once you complete that list, then you can give it back to the owner and make a profit out of it. So there's all these other controls which I really don't know too much about yet. So whatever I do, I'll keep on learning as we go along. Now the move car will take the car to various parts of the garage. So right now I need to take it to the lift, since we need to lift the car up to actually take the tires off and work on the brakes. So let's lift the car up. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. I think the graphics are really nice. It definitely has that grease pit sort of feel to it. And the mechanics of the gameplay is pretty good. I've tried this out a little bit just to get familiar. And you could do things like check out the tires. Or the car, I should say. Right now I'm just checking out the tires, and you can look at it from various angles. And if you know that there's a bad part in there, then it will show red when you're doing the examination. This one doesn't seem to be bad at all, so let's keep on moving on. I gotta figure out which ones have the bad pads and discs. But let's keep on looking at these things. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, you can see the red in there. So the disc is definitely needs to be replaced on this one. I don't know about the pads. And of course, we could get a better understanding of what needs to be replaced as we start taking off the tires and looking at it. But definitely needs a new disc on that one. So let's keep on looking at all these other tires and seeing what we need to do with all of these other versions here. So once again, yeah, this one, definitely this one as well. This one has a bad disc. I'm not sure if the pad's bad. I didn't see anything at least from this angle, wrong with the pads, but you really can't tell until you actually start looking into these things. Okay, so let's see. Okay, one last tire over here. Let's take a look at this one. Oh yeah, okay, so the pad is bad on this one, as you can see. The disc seems to be okay. Okay, so at least we know what we need to do for each one of these. So let's start working on this. Okay, so to work on it, you just basically focus down on the tire, and then it starts actually giving you the ability to start taking it off. And I think this is really cool. It's a lot easier, of course, than in real life, where you're like sweating away trying to take that tire off. And so it has all the fun parts of working on your car without all the strain of having to work on the car. And so it's pretty cool. The gameplay is smooth enough that you could actually get all of this done a lot faster than you would be able to do in real life, or at least I would be able to do in real life. Okay, so as you can see, all the other parts look to be okay, and it's only the disc that seems to be bad. And so we could go over here and do the same thing, focus down on it, and then if we click on this for a while, it lets us take off these bolts. Okay, there. So this one also needs to have the discs replaced, so let me take care of or remove the calipers, and then remove the pads, and then we can remove the disc. This is really cool, the amount of detail that you have on the car. Okay, so we have 2 bad discs, so I guess we can... No, that's not what I want. I guess we can go and get the parts now. Of course, the part delivery is like immediate, so that makes life a lot easier, of course. Let me just get 2 of these. Okay, so now it's back to putting it all back together again. So you have this mounting command that you can use instead of dismounting command, and this puts everything back together again, as you can see here. So you basically go backwards to what you were doing in the past. And let me see. Yeah, okay. Okay. And let me bolt this back down again. Okay, there we go. Just put the tire on. Everything is laid out pretty well so that it becomes somewhat self-intuitive. It kind of suggests what part you want to put together, which is usually the one that you do want to put on. So it makes life a lot easier. And definitely is quite fun building this car back up, without all the hassles that you would normally get if you were having to do this sort of thing. Yep, here we go. And put the tire on, or the wheels on, I should say. There. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now we have to go to the front, and here we have to change the brake pads. Yeah, that's the only thing that's left that we need to do. So let's take this wheel off. There we go. There we go. And take the calipers off again and remove the pads. Nope, that one. There we go. I don't need to remove the discs here because they should be fine. Okay, so yep, bad discs, or bad pads, I should say. just want to make sure this one's okay. I think it is. Okay, so I only need one set of pads, so let's go get that. Right here. Okay, so let's put it back together again. Okay. Yep. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I have to admit, this is really cool. I think eventually you get to do a lot more complex sort of work in the garage as you start building your garage up. I hear that you could get more equipment, you know, you could get more service bays, and eventually you could start restoring cars, I think, which is really cool. I guess it's a virtual version of what you really wanted to do in real life. There we go, we're finished. Hey, we made some money. We made like 90 bucks out of that. Okay, so that's pretty good, and we got some experience out of that, so that's good. So it's kind of like a role-playing game, but it's in a garage. Okay, so we got another call. What, a year and a half ago I bought my son this car. Okay, so he wants an oil change and just needs to look at the cars. I think the tires in the cars. So, okay, let's take a look at this guy. There we go. Move it to the lift. And then what do we need? Wow, this car is really rusty. I guess this guy hasn't been taking care of the car. Wow, there's a lot of things we need to do. Air filter, fuel filter, and tires. Okay, standard tire B, whatever that means. Okay, so let's start out with the air filter. So this one here, let's take off the clips so that we could take off the cover. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I think I need to take off the clips. There we go. And one here, and two more in the back. Yeah, the game mechanics is really cool in this. It's relatively easy to move around in. A lot easier than a real car, that's for sure. That air filter looked in terrible shape, so yeah, it's like 0%. It's completely shot. Okay, so let's go get an air filter. There we go. 11 bucks. Okay, let's go get that. And now we put it back in. And let's put the cover back on and put the clips back on. I guess to some extent, some people may find this tedious, going through this, you know, dismantling and then putting it back together again. But that's really what a lot of building is all about. And if you were to get this, you will get this because of the fact that you actually enjoy doing these things. I would presume. I'm not sure why you would play this game unless you were to do that. Okay, so the air filter looks good. Now let's get rid of all of this stuff. There we go. Okay, so next I think there was either working on the tires and replacing the tires, or the fuel filter and the oil. So let's take a look at the oil, since that's relatively easy to do. Let's pull out the dipstick. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. Okay, so this car definitely needs an oil change. This car definitely needs a lot more stuff, but let's at least do the oil change. And to do that, we have to get underneath the car so that we could remove the oil. How do I lift this up? I presume, yeah, there we go. That's not high enough. Oh, does this go any higher? How do I get this higher? What's this button? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I need to collect the used oil first, and to do that you gotta get underneath here, and you see that little nut at the bottom. Yeah, you have to remove that to get the oil, but I need to get the oil collector, this thing. There we go. Okay, so how do I remove this nut? Just want to remove that one bolt at the bottom. And how do I do that? No, I don't want to remove the oil pan. I just want to remove the bolt at the bottom. I can't seem to be able to do that. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, okay. So it's a lot easier than I thought. Okay. I don't even have to unscrew that bolt. It just automatically does that for me. Okay, so what do I do now? Okay, I can move the equipment back. And if I think the bolt's back on again, right? Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Do I need to change the oil filter? It didn't say so, but let's take a look at it anyway. Let's see. Since we don't have any oil in the car, we should be able to do this. Let's see. Okay, here's the oil filter. I think I need a blue one. But let me double check. Oh, look at that! The oil filter still seems to be somewhat usable. Okay, so that's why it didn't come up in the list. Okay, if that's the case, I'm just gonna put the old oil filter back on again. How do I get? No, I don't want that. How do I get there? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, put that filter back on. Typically, you wouldn't do that. In a real car, if you've taken it off, it's not a good idea to replace the same part back on, but this is a game, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so we need to bring the car back down again. What do I do? Which one? Is it that button? I guess these buttons actually have a meaning. You don't just go randomly pressing these things, so... Okay, so let's take a look at the dipstick. It should be empty now. Yep, okay, so now I presume that we can fill the oil. There we go. What do I do? Do I just click on this? Okay. How do I know when I put in enough? Oh, okay. I think it just told me. There we go. Let's take a look at the oil again. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Okay, so we've changed the oil. We've changed the... what the heck did we change before? Oh, the air filter. Yeah, that's right. The oil change has been done. Okay, so the next thing, maybe before we work on the tire, maybe we could look for the fuel filter. So where is the fuel filter? I presume it's somewhere near the engine. And let's take a look. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's, I presume, the fuel filter. Yep. That rusty looking thing. I guess they purposely made it rusty looking so that we could figure out what it was. Okay, so let's go get another fuel, or let's go get a fuel filter. There we go. Yeah, there's only one fuel filter, so I presume it's this one. And let's just go put it back in. Definitely a lot easier than working on this in real life. Okay, so we've done the oil filter, or the oil change, we've done the fuel filter, we've done the air filter, and I think all we have left are the tires. So let's start looking at them. Yeah, they look pretty worn out. At least they are shown in red, so I guess we do have to replace the tires. I don't think we have to do anything with the brakes for this car. Okay, so there we go. Wow. They look kind of rusty, but I presume that we don't need to worry about them. So let me start taking some of these tires off. Or wheels off, I should say. We'll be removing the tires a little bit later. Or in a bit, I should say. Okay. Okay, so now we need to go to the tire changer and separate the parts. Okay, well, this is relatively straightforward. And yeah, there it goes. Okay, so let me, yeah, okay, take. And good. Okay, so let me do the other one as well. Okay, I guess you don't have to do the second part of removing that tire, which is to run that machine again in the lower rim. But okay, let's go buy that tire. Let's see. Where was it? Oh yeah, okay. I need to figure out which tire to get. So it's the standard tire B. This one. And I need to figure out what size. Okay, it's a 205/55 R16. Okay, so width is 205. No, 205. Profile is 55. That's better. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay, well, I think we got the right tire. We'll find out. If it doesn't fit, then we got the wrong tire. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, okay. So it looks like it's taking and accepting the tire on the rim, so it looks like we bought the right tire. Let me get that, and we have one more. Okay, so this is working out pretty good. Okay, so now let's see if we could put the tires back on again. Let's see. What do you mean there's no items to work with? Yeah, we got the tires. And let's try that again. It should show. It's not showing up. What are we missing? No. What are we missing? We have the tires. We mounted the tires, and those were okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we mounted the tires. Do we need to balance them? Well, okay, yeah, that does make sense. If we put new tires on, I guess we do need to balance them. I'm not sure if that's the reason, or if this is some sort of bug in the program. Okay, well, I guess I didn't need to hammer any lead weights onto that thing. I guess it automatically does it for me. So let's do the other one as well. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess if we do put on a new tire, then I guess it does need to be balanced. For those of you who may be unfamiliar, balancing, of course, is if you put on a new tire, the weight might not be completely distributed evenly, and you find out through spinning it. And if it spins off center, then you need to start putting additional weight on to balance everything. And so that's what tire balancing is for. I just don't know if that was the reason we couldn't mount it onto the car. Let's try this now. See if it works this time. Ah, okay, good. Okay, so lesson to me, balance those tires. Okay. Okay. No items to work with. I thought I balanced. Did I balance the same tire twice? Maybe I balanced the wrong tire the last time I was here. That would be pretty sad. Well, since it's taking a while to balance, maybe we could start working on this next tire. Okay, so, what are all this stuff? This looks like all these diagnostic tools, but I don't seem to be able to reach, get into them. Maybe they come with the upgrade of the garage. Maybe we need to upgrade the garage as we keep on doing this. Okay, well anyway, I'm going to take off these tires and see what happens. I think by now that tire is balanced, so let's start taking the tire off of this wheel. I should be calling it wheel. I always keep calling it tire. Okay, so let's put the wheel back on. Oh, okay, so this time it worked. So I must have balanced the wrong or the same tire wheel twice. And so lesson to me again, don't balance the wheel more than once. It's not necessary. Okay, so one more wheel to go. So let me get this one. We're almost there, folks. We're almost there. Job almost finished. Okay. I wonder what will happen if you start doing work that's different from what the customer asked you to do, like remove the bumper and then try to give it back to them. I presume that the game would not let you give the car back to the owner, and that will be less interesting, I guess, than if you were able to give it back to the owner and the owner got really upset. Anyway, I need to get 2 more tires, and I think it uses exactly the same size tires in the front and the back. So 205 55R 16s, right? No, 55R. Good. Yeah. Okay. You get this. Okay, so now we could start putting the new tires onto the wheels. There. Yeah, I still need to put the tires on. Okay. There we go. And balance this one. And put the other wheel now on here. No items to work with. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, there it is. Oh, I must have tried to remove the tire, which we already did. Okay, well, I'm making a lot of mistakes here, but so far the game has been foolproof enough that it prevents fools like me from making too many mistakes. Okay, I think it's this one. I'm not sure, but I think it's that one. Okay, so let's try it out. If we could mount this one, then we know that the other one was the right one to balance. Okay, so we can. Okay, good. Okay, so we're almost done. One more wheel after this. Here we are. I think I missed bolting the all these bolts on completely, and that's why it didn't let me put the wheel completely back on. There we go. Okay, so one more wheel. Let's take that. We're almost done. This was a bigger job than definitely the first one, that's for sure. And I think it would have gone a lot faster if I knew how to coordinate myself well, but I don't know how to coordinate myself well, so. Okay. Okay, one more bolt. And I think we're done. Okay, yes, we have all the job done, and I see that the finish order button is now highlighted. If I press this, can I finish the order even though I haven't lowered the car? Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's convenient. And oh, we made about $800 out of this entire episode. We started out with 4,000. I see that we're at 4,800. So that's good. Okay, so this is Car Mechanics Simulator 2018. I think we'll continue on with this, and hopefully we'll get more acquainted with this and have more things to do in the future. Anyway, it was a pleasure to make this video for you. If you have any comments, please post in the comment section below. We'll continue on with Car Mechanics Simulator in the future. I hope you join us in our future episodes. And until the next episode, we wish you all the best. And Jaya, nice day, everyone.